Children need the care and protection of their parents and guardians and adults in general. Celebrate their resilience and brilliance. Surround them with positive experiences, whether through a kind word, a protective action, or simply showing up. Hi there everyone, thanks for joining us for another informative Jamaica Magazine journey. I'm your host, Theodore Henry, and it's the first Monday in May and we are celebrating Child Month. On the pages of Jamaica Magazine today, we look at support for vulnerable citizens and how you can adopt a child. There's a lot more on children and their care unfolding on the other side of the upcoming break. Please stay with us.
Keep that smile on their faces and preserve their innocence. Cherish the moments you have with them and create the best memories. Let's inspire our children to dream big and work hard to achieve all they aspire to be. Take the time to listen to our children and really hear their side of the story. Our children deserve love and the right to access their basic needs. Do your part and protect our children.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JS News for Monday, May 5, 2025. Government is ramping up efforts to modernize the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, with the expansion of surveillance technology and the rollout of digital enforcement tools. The Jamaica Eye program is to be expanded with the addition of 2,500 CCTV cameras island-wide over the next 3 years. In the first phase, 500 cameras will be installed at key locations, including Portmore, Port Antonio, and Old Harbour. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang reveals that a new monitoring center will soon open at the Olympic Gardens Police Station in St. Andrew. In a further step towards full digitalization of police operations, he says additional electronic ticketing tools will be deployed to boost traffic law enforcement.
1,000 rugged handheld ticketing devices and 1,500 mobile printers will bring us to 6,000 and therefore shift the ticketing to an entire smarter system, more consistent with traffic enforcement.
Dr. Chang was making his contribution to the 2025-2026 sectoral debate in Parliament last Tuesday. Meanwhile, the National Security Minister is defending the government's continued use of states of public emergency, SOEs, pointing out that this is supported by empirical data. Dr. Chang points to a study by Florida International University in the United States, which highlighted SOE's effectiveness as a tool in reducing crime. He says this is proven by the experience of other countries across Latin America and the Caribbean.
Over the last 2 years, several Latin American and Caribbean countries, including Trinidad and Tobago, Belize, Ecuador, Honduras, and Peru, have implemented state of public emergencies to swiftly curb spiraling homicide rates, save lives, and improve public order.
Still, the minister insists that SOEs are not meant to be the state's entire national security strategy, merely an essential part.
We have never suggested the state of public emergencies as a silver bullet for our crime problem. They are but one set of tools in a broader, multi-pronged strategy designed to restore law and order. That is why we have persisted in implementing a comprehensive policy for national security. This includes the expansion and the development of the police force.
Still on security matters, the government is urging stakeholders, including private sector interests, to partner against the threat of illicit trade. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang made the call while speaking at the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, JCC, inaugural Anti-Illicit Trade Forum on Wednesday. Minister Chang highlights that the country's annual loss in tax revenue from illicit trade is estimated at more than 10 billion Jamaican dollars. He says increased collaboration amongst relevant organizations such as the Jamaica Customs Agency, the police, and entities engaged in border control has yielded significant gains in tackling the problem.
Between 2016 and 2024, Intellectual Property Unit of CTOC seized counterfeit goods valued at approximately $1 billion. It is very noticeable that since the customs have gotten more deeply involved in the non-intrusive inspection, we have been apprehending a significant amount of contraband goods, including firearms, which have seen a significant increase in the last few months.
In spite of these successes, the Security Minister laments that an area of concern currently on the rise is trade-based money laundering. This is where the origins of illicit funds are disguised through trade transactions, often manipulating the price, quantity, or quality of goods, which puts legitimate business at risk. Dr. Chang stresses that these goods allow criminal actors to outcompete lawful businesses and integrate themselves into the legal economy, in addition to carrying out money laundering.
It is for this reason that Jamaica's ongoing national risk assessment by the security teams, analysts, include a dedicated focus on trade-based money laundering to identify, quantify, and mitigate our exposure to trade-based laundering. The ramification of the illicit trade extends throughout our society, from gang financing to corruption. Proceeds are reinvested in gang infrastructure, financing the procurement of firearms, facilitating recruitment, and maintaining networks of corruption. Persistent illicit activity signals a high-risk commercial environment, deterring both domestic and international investment.
Minister Chang says he is pleased with the discussion from the JCC Forum and welcomes feedback that could be integrated in actions to counter illicit trade. More than 1,000 households in Portland have been identified to benefit from the government's house wiring and inspection program, designed to have more Jamaicans regularizing their electricity connection to the national grid. This is in line with the announcement made by Finance Minister Favour Williams during her budget presentation earlier this year for the allocation of $1 billion to assist 20,000 new customers joining the JPS prepaid electricity program. The allocation is to cover payments for house wirings and inspections. The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, is implementing the program and has launched a series of electrification fairs to encourage persons to sign on to the initiative.
And once that is done, then we will arrange for the execution of the program and the timing as to when we go to the different communities in order to do the wiring. We will wire the homes, have the various approvals done, and have them enrolled with JPS so that they can be customers of JPS, and so they will have their respective electricity on a legal basis.
JSIF's General Manager for Finance, Procurement and Standards, Orville Hill, tells JS News that the electrification fairs will be held island-wide. The next one is scheduled for May 9 in Clarendon, where the program will be officially launched. Operational management of the Hanover Infirmary is expected to be improved with the addition of a new matron's quarters. The 3-bedroom unit, which comes equipped with all basic amenities, was built by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development at a cost of over $16 million. It was officially opened recently by the Portfolio Minister, Desmond McKenzie.
The purpose of the matron quarters is to allow the matron to have access to the facilities 24/7 around the clock. So sometimes when the matron lives off the property, it takes her some time to get here, and a lot of things can go wrong. So the investment of over $16 million is to fulfill the obligations that comes with the operation of our infirmaries.
The local government minister also announced that over $7.5 million will be provided to carry out extensive repairs to the laundry at the infirmary.
Once the funds is released, I want the work to commence on the laundry so I can come back in short order to open the laundry and to throw away the scrubbing board and the can trash where them use to scrub. Modern days, modern equipment you're getting in a very lovely area that is conducive for work.
And that's it for JS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
Government continues to improve the country's social safety net to ensure all citizens, especially vulnerable groups, have equal opportunities to participate in society and benefit from the social and economic prospects on offer. We now turn the page of the magazine to look at measures outlined by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to enhance social inclusion of the vulnerable.
As we continue our mission to build a stronger and more inclusive Jamaica, we recognize that many of our citizens are in need but do not benefit from any existing government program. To address this, we are introducing the $1 billion Solidarity Program. And in its first iteration, we will be providing a one-time cash grant of $20,000 to 50,000 vulnerable individuals who are not enrolled in PATH, social pension, NIS, or the reverse income tax credit. So the initiative will support elderly persons in need, youth not engaged in education or employment, micro businesses affected by disaster, low-income informal workers, medically indigent individuals, and persons with disabilities facing economic hardship. We have to find all of these people who are in the society, who are left out and who are suffering. We recognize that some of these persons may lack formal identification, and this may be a barrier to them participating in other social support programs. The government will assist them in obtaining birth certificates through Operation Birthright and securing a national identification card to facilitate their inclusion in future opportunities. So we are proposing the online portal that was used for the CARE program during the pandemic, and applications will be made through this portal. Referrals will be managed through the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, and we will enlist the members of Parliament, as they did during the pandemic, to find the persons in their constituencies who qualify and ensure that they enroll for this program. There can be no digital society without a proper system of identification and authentication. A national identification system has been talked about for over 50 years. The government has finally got it done. We commenced issuing Jamaica's first electronic identification cards on November 15, 2024. The next step is to develop and expand digital services that leverage this secure and reliable form of identification. With the new electronic national identification cards, citizens will be able to verify their identity securely online, eliminating the need for cumbersome paperwork and in-person visits. This will pave the way for e-government services, digital payments, and more efficient, transparent, and inclusive public sector. We are not only making life easier for our people, but also unlocking new opportunities for innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth. Madam Speaker, pensioners currently have to complete a proof of life form every 3 months and get it signed by a JP. We will soon be introducing the I'm Alive app that will enable you to use your national ID to complete the proof of life form from the comfort of your home in no more than 2 minutes. I want to emphasize that the I'm Alive app is just an option, and if persons choose to use the old way, fine with us, but there is now this greater convenient way which we encourage our pensioners to use. We are committed to transforming informal settlements into secure, legally recognized communities that foster stability, economic development, and a better quality of life for all Jamaicans. The HAJ has been tasked with the upgrading of 81 informal communities, with work set to begin in Eden Park, St. Mary. To expand home ownership, the HAJ plans to implement 10,000 housing starts and 4,000 completed solutions over the next 4 years. The HAJ will also be intervening in 5 small informal urban communities, 5 acres or less, to upgrade their housing and infrastructure, replicating the success of the St. Paul's Lane model. We have identified communities in Almond Town, Anato Bay, Parade Gardens, Long Acres in Montego Bay, and Russia in Savannah Mar as communities to benefit from this intervention. Through systematic land titling and registration, the National Land Agency is set to deliver 12,000 titles, ending this year, and they are targeting an additional 8,000 additional titles in 2025-2026. The NLA, Mr. Speaker, is well advanced in deploying a system of electronic titles. So this will transform the whole issuing of titles and the speed. In fact, they are expecting to start by 2027-2028. We are now ready to use systematic titling to regularize parcels in urban areas, starting with a pilot in Kingston and St. Andrew. To support this expansion, we are increasing the number of commissioned land surveyors through an apprenticeship program at the NLA, with plans to train 33 student surveyors and equip them with modern surveying instruments. Additionally, a geospatial training center developed in partnership with the Government of Korea will enhance land survey capabilities using advanced unmanned drones to expedite cadastral mapping and land registration. Beyond the regularization of existing settlements, we are also building entirely new planned settlements to provide high-quality, affordable housing for Jamaicans. The Bernard Lodge project was the first of this large-scale master plan development and represents a new era in sustainable and structured community development in Jamaica. Already, to date, 6,000 units have been completed or are under construction, and they are moving at a rapid pace. When it is all finished, there will be about 15,000 homes. The next planned development of this kind will be in Innswood. I have given directives to the NHT to lead a multi-agency team to undertake the master planning for lands at Innswood, in addition to land slated for development along the St. John's Road corridor. It will take about a year and a half to do the master planning, to secure approvals, to mobilize resources, to treat with the necessary drainage, to deal with the roadway, and then to where we have lands to go through a process of divestment, and then to deal with common infrastructure. This next chapter is about building a Jamaica where hard work is rewarded, where dreams are nurtured, and where prosperity is not just for the few, but for all.
Attitude is something which productivity will require, and a good attitude. So these are conversations which are difficult, because how do you instill a good attitude? It starts by the kinds of activities that you engage your children in at an early age. What are we teaching our children even in our own homes? How do they see us reacting to challenges? How do they hear us addressing issues? That's what's going to shape their attitude and their mindset.
It is important for children to grasp valuable life skills such as money management and budgeting that will foster a sense of responsibility, financial literacy, and independence. Listen up as we hear from teenagers sharing budget tips with their peers.
So x is -1 and
A number 2 me there.
Oh, so you, and how you get that? Alicia, I know the new second gen AirPods Pro that.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you're rich.
No. I just know to budget.
Budgeting? What she mean?
Well, my mom taught me. Like a plan for your saving and expenses, it basically keeps you on track for what you're saving for.
What?
Think of it like farming. You plant the seed today, and in a few months or even years, you reap the rewards.
Alright. But oh yeah, budget? And you no work and you not pay bills?
Well, I use my lunch money, and my parents even give me a little pocket money. Budgeting works, because I started saving for my AirPods in January, and I bought it in March. Every mickle, make a muckle.
Girl, you? I'm good that. Get there.
Yes, girl. This is how you start. First, you track your income. These are all the money you get. Then, you list your expenses. These are the things you spend the money on, like food, snack, or lunch, or even our taxi and bus fare. Then, you differentiate between your wants and your needs. Needs are the essentials, and the wants are things like games or the latest fashion.
Well, it look like me I spend more money on wants than needs.
Well, you can fix that. First, you find a spending limit, and that is, don't go overboard. Then, you don't pass $1,000 for the week.
Well, me, I go start budget for my birthday trip on the grill. And me, I go budget for the 15 Pro Max.
You'll be saving for the rest of your life.
Well, guys, your goals have to be realistic, so don't pass the money that you don't have.
Alright, I guess I can settle for the 11.
So budgeting aside, Alicia, what I listen to?
Jerusalem.
Hey!
So remember, budget for your dreams, plan today, thrive tomorrow.
Motorists, please look out for us when we're crossing the road.
Not every child finds his or herself privileged in a loving and caring home with parents and guardians, but the system of adoption provides a second chance for many of these children. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency explains the process involved.
Thank you for your interest in adoption in Jamaica. Please download the adoption guidelines below, which are intended to assist you with the completion of your application form. You are required to complete and enclose the following documents: application forms, child's medical forms, adult's medical forms, any other information relevant to your case, such as affidavits, birth certificates, death certificates, and court orders. That's the beginning of your adoption process. You're now on your way to becoming a child's legal guardian.
Adoption is a very special process. It's a very significant step that persons take in their lives, and it is very rewarding. And I would implore persons who are interested in adopting to go for it. And as I said before, go for it with an open mind. People misconceive adoption because the stigma that is attached to it, in that persons, I don't know if maybe it is a cultural thing, but persons don't willingly talk about adoption. It's mostly a secret, and you find that people go away with the wrong ideas, in that persons believe that maybe the process is too long, maybe they believe that we should not have such a rigorous process, but you have to understand it's a life commitment, and you want to ensure that a child being adopted is being placed in the best possible placement. Close adoptions are adoptions that are basically done in Jamaica now, in that no information is given to either the adopters about the biological parents, and the biological parents don't know about the adoptive parents. The process for adopting overseas is basically very similar to the process for Jamaica, whereby you are needed to fill out the form, get the necessary supporting documents, birth certs, marriage certs. However, overseas applicants need to ensure that they have home studies, because that is the way you're going to find out about the overseas person's background. So they would have to get the services of a home service provider, especially for those in the US, and that home service provider will give them a comprehensive information about their, including police checks and everything. So they need that. And then after that process, they will submit it to us, and it will go through the regular rigorous process of identifying the birth parents, doing the necessary interview, visiting the child, getting the child's opinion, and then all of that is summarized and placed in a report along with the case file to the adoption board for approval. Persons who are allowed to adopt children in Jamaica are single male, female, couples, persons over 25 years. If you are a relative, you have to be 18 years and over. The adoption board is a body established in the Act that has to give approval for all adoption applications before they can go to the court for finalization. The adoption board is the only agency that is authorized to approve adoption cases. So there's no other agency that has that authority.
Let adoption work for you. Visit the Child Protection and Family Services Agency website at childprotection.gov.jm or visit the agency at 48 Duke Street or any of the parish's offices island-wide to learn how you can start the process.
A happy home is a safe home. Here are some quick tips to keep household chemicals out of the reach of children. Tip 1. Clearly label all chemicals and store them in their original containers to avoid confusion. Tip 2. Use child-proof locks on low cabinets and store all chemicals on high shelves or in locked cabinets. Tip 3. Teach your children about the dangers and importance of safety around these products. Few simple steps can make a big difference. Keep your home safe and keep those little hands out of harm's way.
Our half-hour journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine ends right here for today. But please join us again tomorrow on this station for more news, features, and information you can use to live, to work, to raise families, to do business, and of course, retire in paradise. In the meantime, visit our website, gis.gov.jm for this and other offerings. And on behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Until next time, take care and walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.